How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a brand new video, guys. Today, I've actually got some massive information, I've got some massive info, lads, okay? I've got some massive info, alright? Let's just get those cheeks ready, okay? I'm gonna just slap the shit out of them, okay? Listen. This info is actually really interesting. I'm going to tell you right now, because it actually confirms a rumor that was posted before this information came out. So first things first, you've probably seen Memo covered this, but there's something that Memo has not covered, okay? There's something Memo missed, and something that everybody's been missing that actually came out before this information. So first things first, what are we talking about? Well, this info dropped very recently. Thank you to Hiroka for sending this my way, and also for Hydro for sharing it, and of course, to Go Nintendo for actually tweeting it out and giving us the information. But what are we talking about, ladies and gentlemen? Well, basically, we can read the title here real quick, and that is basically that Nikkei claims Game Freak is moving to the same building as Nintendo's new Tokyo office. Now, why is this important? Well, this means that Nintendo and Game Freak are going to be really close to each other. Like, they're going to be really close to each other, okay? And this gets me excited for a lot of reasons, because this brings me back to a rumor, which I never covered for you guys. A rumor that came from 2chan, not 4chan. Really? Like 4chan? But either way, this is a rumor that came from 2chan, okay? That was then reposted on 4chan, and I want to talk about it because it actually fits with this. And let me explain what we're talking about. First of all, we're going to go to the actual tweet. We're going to go to the story. We're going to read about it. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to show you the rumor itself that actually explains all this. But before we get to that, guys, quick plug. I just want to quickly plug Legit Anbu, my anime channel. I already have one video uploaded there right now. It was 2 days ago. I might have another video later today for you guys to check out. So definitely jump over there if you guys want to see that. It's really good. I'm going to be putting a lot of effort into that channel, so please try to help the channel get to, like, I'm trying to get it to 500 subscribers within, like, the first 2 weeks, so if you guys can try to, you know, just get it to that, we're almost halfway there. So yeah, guys, just make sure to do that. Either way, let's get into the actual information. So, Nikkei claims Game Freak is moving to the same building as Nintendo's new Tokyo office. Is something big about to go down? I think it is. Let's talk about that. So, just a few days back, Nintendo said that they'd be moving their 4 Tokyo offices into one building at Kanda Square. Nintendo will be filing up the 8th, 20th, and 21st floor. This would make it easier for Nintendo's team to work together with each other, leading to a more cohesive creation. Yes, following that news, a report from Nikkei claims that Game Freak, yes, Game Freak is also moving. They say Game Freak is heading to the exact same building Nintendo will be in at Kanda Square. This has many wondering if something is going on with Nintendo and Game Freak that will have them working together more closely than ever before. Now listen, Pokemon's in a weird spot right now. They are kind of greedy. I'm going to tell you, like, the Pokemon company is being kind of greedy. Nintendo's being kind of greedy. They're really, like, locking off a lot of features behind paid walls. But this can only be something good right here. This information in front of me, okay? And why am I saying that? Because here's the thing. There was a rumor that was posted a while back, okay? And this rumor is this one right here. According to 2chan and a supposed rumor from Garu, Game Freak has hired a team that worked on the Breath of the Wild to use their game assets apparently for a future gen game. That's effing amazing. How is no one discussing this yet? So this guy posted this because this was from 2chan. Sorry, this was from 2chan. And this was like a totally different, like, unrelated situation, right? Like, totally unrelated situation. And this, again, like, this is really interesting because if this is true, and it makes sense if they're in the same office, right? And that they would have hired the same, you know, people. It actually makes a lot of sense, right? Like, it actually makes sense. So what I'm trying to get to, basically, is that this actually opens up the possibility for us getting a way bigger Pokemon game in Generation 9. Like, this actually gets me excited for Pokemon again. Like, I have been losing faith, okay? I've been losing faith for a long time now, okay? Like, I've been genuinely losing faith. But this right here, this rumor from 2chan, and this is from 4chan specifically, but this original rumor being from 2chan, mixed with this information now that they're going to be in the same office, this is massive, okay? This is actually massive information. Like, this is genuinely important to look at and important to just remember because it's going to have a huge impact on, like, the Pokemon of the future, right? The Pokemon games of the future. It's going to have a huge impact on that. And imagine if we get the same team, right, that worked on Breath of the Wild actually making a Pokemon game or helping make a Pokemon game, and us not having to deal with Game Freak's lack of knowledge, okay? Let me be honest. Game Freak has issues, okay? They aren't the greatest programmers, designers, or any of that in the world. They have a lot of issues. Like, you know, Sword and Shield suffers of lag spikes, tons of glitches and bugs, okay? The game is nowhere close to perfect or even good. It's just an average game that's just very messy, okay? And I think that with the help of Nintendo, we can get a way better product. We can get an amazing product, okay? And I know I'm shitting so much on Sword and Shield. I know some of you guys still enjoyed. A lot of you guys actually enjoyed, and that's totally fine. If you enjoy a game, you have the full right to enjoy it, but at the same time, I have the full right to criticize it. But I am excited again for Pokemon. I'm excited. I've been so sad about Pokemon lately, man. That's why I just haven't been, like, myself. I just haven't been, like, I just haven't the hype. I haven't had the hype, excitement, any of that, but this gets me excited. Maybe not for the next game being Diamond and Pearl, like, you know, like, not in terms of what it is, but more in, like, maybe I'm not excited for the next game coming out, because that's probably going to be very similar to Sword and Shield in the same engine and stuff, but I'm more or less excited for the prospect of Generation 9. What's coming after this, because I think, let's be honest, I think they've noticed themselves. I think they even know that they did make a lot of mistakes with Sword and Shield, and I think they're going to take more time, which is why I think this whole expansion pass thing is a good situation, actually, in a sense, because this is going to allow them to have more time to actually work on the actual games, and if they're going to be working right next to Nintendo, right by them, and the same teams that work at Nintendo, if they're going to be working together with them, that is amazing. That it means we don't have to worry about Game Freak just running into a weird wall and just being like, nope, nothing's wrong here, right? I think Nintendo could help them here. And I know we can, like, in terms of blaming anyone for Sword and Shield, like, Sword and Shield's, like, actual F-ups and the problems there and just generally where Pokemon's going, we can blame all three parties involved. Game Freak, Nintendo, and the Pokemon Company. We can blame all those three involved, okay? But when it comes to the actual development of the games themselves, that's only up to Game Freak there. Game Freak makes the design choices, and then that goes higher up, you know what I mean, and they make the choices if, you know, GTS is going to be sold separate, or this is going to be sold separate, or whatever. Like, fair enough. But when it comes to the base game, that's where they make the choices of, you know, how it's being developed and all that stuff, right? So there is still a blame to be put on them for a lot of the F-ups, so to say. But I think this is a good prospect. I think this is a good situation for us. If this goes through the way it is, then I'm really, really excited. Like, I don't know, I'm just excited. Like, honestly, like, I really hope they actually learn something from Nintendo. I really do, because, let's be honest, they are, like, just let's be frankly honest. Even those of you who enjoy Sword and Shield, you cannot deny the games have issues. Clear issues, okay? Clear issues. Whether it be the lagginess in online play, whether it be just the lack of content, whether it be the unpolished nature of the game. Like, compare that to something like Breath of the Wild, which is a fully polished, beautiful game, right? Now imagine if you actually took all the assets that they already have, right? Because they have so much to work with. Like Pokemon actually has so much to work with, right? Now take all that stuff they have to work with and give it to a team that knows how to work with it, right? With those assets. That's perfect. Now, again, like I said, you know, what he said here is Game Freak has hired a team to work on Breath of the Wild to use their game assets, apparently, for a future gen game. That's effing amazing. If this is true, this would be fantastic. This actually would be amazing. And I think Pokemon will be back on the right direction, because Pokemon's been lacking ever since X and Y came out, ever since Game Freak kind of actually got, like, to take control of Pokemon all on their own for a bit. That's where Pokemon has just kind of faltered, because ever since, ever since, like, they stopped getting help from Nintendo directly, right? They kind of dropped off for a bit, right? Like, X and Y was a hiccup. ORAS, you know, was a good game in my opinion, but had also its own faults. Sun and Moon had its own problems, and Ultra Sun and Moon had its own problems as well, right? Let's Go had its problems, and Sword and Shield clearly had its problems, right? But prior to that, mostly the games were actually good in their nature, right? Like, the base game was actually a proper product and had little to no issues, right? It didn't really suffer of any major, you know, like, major problems, right? Like, I don't think Diamond and Pearl had any massive bugs or glitches that would actually, like, be game-breaking or cause a bunch of issues, right? Like, the games were story-wise great, were content-wise great. Black and White, some people hated it, some people loved it. I think it was a great game. I don't think it had any sort of visual issues, you know, any of that sort of stuff. And in terms of content, there was a lot there. And pretty much everything prior, like, there was not much of those issues there, besides maybe the first generation, which is where Game Freak did it on their own. And then Generation 2, they got help with, right, from Nintendo. So I think now that they're closer to Nintendo, closer to them, right, working right next to them, this is good. This is good info. If this is true, that is, right? If this rumor, but it would really be strange if this wasn't true, because if this rumor here from 4chan/2chan, if this came out first, right, and, like, actually said all this info, right, such a long time ago now, you know, like, back in, like, January of this year, right? This came out then, and then this information comes now in February, right? So that was January, this is February. You know what I mean? And both kind of like really match with each other. One is saying that, you know, that Nintendo's moving and Game Freak is moving in as well, you know, and the other one's saying that Nintendo is looking to hire and work with the team that worked on Breath of the Wild. Doesn't this kind of match up perfectly? And also, this is coming more from a more reliable source. This specific like Game Freak moving into a Nintendo building. This is coming from a more reliable source. The other one's like from a 4chan, you know, post. My point again is, it makes sense. It all matches up together, guys. It all matches up together. I don't know what this means, but ladies and gentlemen, I think we got good prospects in our way. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you all in the next video. Have yourselves a great day, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out.